Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team with an overview of the UHD-EX120HZ-K HDMI extension kit. This product was engineered to make it incredibly easy for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 200 feet away over a single CAT6 or CAT7 LAN cable. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content at up to 120 frames per second for a distance of 100 feet and 4K content at 60 frames a second up to 200 feet away. The product is also HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's going to work perfectly fine with all of your modern media gear. It even provides audio extraction capabilities at the remote location that will digitally separate the audio from the media being sent there and allow you to pass that along through the analog connection on the back to a soundbar or home stereo for better quality audio. The kit also includes a set of infrared blasters that will collect up the remote control signals from that remote location and send those back digitally over that same LAN cable to the primary site where they're rebroadcast so you can effectively remotely control the content you're watching. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with a quick unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at both of the modules and explain the connections and indicators so you understand how to use it. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. You'll find a set of brackets for each of the modules you can use to mount them up off the ground and out of the way, as well as a connection block for the RS-232 ports on the back. You'll find two 5-volt 1-amp DC power supplies, one for the transmitter and one for the receiver. You can simply plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end of the cable has a barrel connection on it which plugs directly into the back of the module and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll also find a set of infrared blasters, and they are a little bit different. There's a receiver that is at the remote location and a transmitter that's at the primary location. This one picks up the remote control signals. This one rebroadcasts those signals so you can control your content. And finally, there's a full instruction manual also included that lists connection diagrams, specifications, and other really important information that you'll need to understand about the solution to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at both modules, list the features and functions, and then I'll do that demonstration. Inside the kit, you'll find a transmitter module and a receiver module. Both of these feature full metal enclosures, which make them incredibly durable, and it really helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the sensitive electronics inside. Let's take a look at the transmitter module first. You'll notice ventilation slots on either side of the cabinet, and those are designed to let any heat that develops during operation escape and keep the electronics inside at a really comfortable temperature. You'll also find mounting holes on both sides that can be used with the included bracketing kit to mount this module up off the ground and out of the way. On the one end of the module, you'll find a port labeled IR out, and that's a 3.5mm port that's used with the infrared blaster that's included with the kit. And you'll want to make sure you plug the infrared transmitter in here because that'll rebroadcast the signals from the remote control at that second location. To the right of that is a LAN port, and that's where one end of the CAT6 or CAT7 cable between the transmitter and the receiver plugs in. To the right of that is an RS-232 connection port. This product actually transmits and receives RS-232 connection signals between the two locations, and if you'd like to take advantage of that feature, you can use the plug that's included with the kit to make that wiring a little easier. To the right of that is a power indicator. The minute you add power to the module, it starts an internal power on self-test where it checks the electronics and a few other things, and once it passes that test, it'll light that LED letting you know the module's ready to use. On the other end, you'll find a power port, and that's used with the included power supply. You'll simply plug that power supply into a standard wall outlet. The other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it which plugs in right there and provides all the power you'll need for operation. To the right of that is an HDMI port labeled HDMI in. This connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote location. Use a high-performance cable. And finally, to the right of that is a reset button. You can tap that button for a few seconds to reset the module if needed. The receiver is very similar. Again, ventilation slots on both sides, mounting holes as well for the bracketing kit. On the one end, you'll find a port labeled IR in. In this case, you'll want to use the infrared blaster that's labeled receiver, and that plugs in right there. To the right of that is another LAN port, and that's where the other end of that CAT6 or CAT7 cable from the transmitter plugs in for that connection. RS-232 connection block and power indicator. On the other end, another power port. You'll use the second power supply with this module, plug it into a wall outlet, plug it in right there. To the right of that is an HDMI port labeled HDMI out, and that's where you'll plug your monitor in at the remote location that you'd like to enjoy the content from the primary location on. To the right of that is a reset button. Again, you can reset the module by holding that in for a few seconds. And then finally, to the right of that is a 3.5mm analog audio port labeled left and right out. This unit can actually perform audio extraction where it separates the audio component from the media stream you're viewing and allows you to pass that along through that port to a soundbar, home stereo, or amplifier system for better quality audio. So you can plug in right there to increase your audio quality. And that's pretty much it for the pair. The OREI UHD-EX120HZ-K is compatible with a wide range of modern HDMI media devices, including media players like Apple TV, streaming devices, computer systems, digital projectors, and game consoles. The product's features include full support of 4K ultra-high definition media content. It provides audio extraction at the remote location. It is both HDMI 2.0 as well as HDCP 2.2 compliant. It provides a 200 feet extension of the content between the primary and secondary locations and includes an infrared blaster kit that provides complete remote control of that content. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use this product with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the media content I'd like to share with my second location. Here I've set up another monitor that represents my remote location. This could be an upstairs bedroom or downstairs in the den. It's wherever I'd like to enjoy the content from that primary side. And these can be up to 200 feet apart. In front of me I have the transmitter module here for the primary location and the receiver module here for the secondary location. Now the first set of connections I'll make are to the transmitter, and I'll start by disconnecting my media device from the monitor and plugging that HDMI cable directly into the HDMI input port on the transmitter. And now I can add power to the transmitter. I've already plugged in that power supply. There's a barrel connection on the end of it, and I'll plug that into the power port. Now the minute I do that, the transmitter starts an internal power on self-test where it checks the electronics. It also checks the resolution of my media source, and it's waiting for a network connection to the receiver. And now we're ready to connect up the receiver at the remote side. I've got another high-speed cable connected to this monitor, and I'll plug that into the HDMI output port, and now I can add power over here. I've got a second power supply plugged in. Again, I'll plug that into the DC input port. This one starts a power on self-test, and it actually checks the resolution of the monitor. So when I make the connection, a handshake will take place, and they'll adjust the picture to give you whatever the best resolution possible is on your remote location. Now all we need is the LAN connection between them. That has to be a CAT6 or a CAT7 cable. I have a short CAT6 cable right here, and I'll plug that into the transmitter first, and then the receiver. And again, the minute I do that, the transmitter now knows there's a receiver. It's going to start that communication channel between the two, and since they've already gone through power on self-test, there you go. That picture came up pretty quickly. And what you're viewing here is content from the primary side. That's an HDMI signal that's been converted into a LAN signal across that network connection, and then converted back into an HDMI media stream over here for display on your monitor. And it really is just that simple to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the OREI UHD-EX120HZ-K HDMI extension kit helpful. It really does provide an incredibly simple solution for you to share all of your HDMI media content with a second remote location up to 200 feet away over a single CAT6 or CAT7 cable. And again, the product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media content at up to 120 frames a second for a distance of 100 feet, or 4K content at 60 frames a second up to 200 feet away. It's both HDMI 2.0 and HDCP 2.2 compliant, which means it's going to work great with a wide variety of different media devices and file types. It also provides audio extraction at the remote location that allows you to pass the audio from the media stream you're distributing along to a soundbar or home stereo for that full theater experience. And finally, the kit also includes a set of infrared blasters that provide complete remote control of the content from that secondary location. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks again for watching.